Hello everyone. So today we're going to have another English lesson and let's have a look at what we're going to do today. Right, now I know I've been having a bit of difficulty with this platform and it doesn't show up the people that are watching sometimes, so I can't really tell who's watching and who's not, so I'm just going to have to assume that people are watching because I know there have been, but it hasn't shown up on this platform. Okay, so today is lesson 3. And again, it's the same format we had before. We'll have, actually, it's not exactly the same as this today. It's kind of the same. I've changed it a little bit. So let's have a look. Let's just dive into it. So today I've called it reading because we are going to read it, but it is a question with some information and we have to work out what the information is telling us. So we're going to work out from the description that we read what this thing is. So it's a what am I? So the first piece of information we have is I am hard. So it's something that is hard. The second piece of information we have is I have 4 legs. Okay, not everything is hard and has 4 legs. Number 3 says I have a flat top. Okay, so we can assume from that by top, it probably means a surface or the top of something. And number 4, people put things on me. Okay, and then number 5, which should make it a little bit clearer, is people can sit at me. Okay, let's go through these statements one more time so that we can work out what this item is. And then I will use this as a reading exercise, so I will say them again and then give you a chance to repeat after me, so it is a reading exercise that we're doing. So, what am I? That is what we're trying to find out. I am hard. Okay, so the word hard tells us that it is something that's not soft and it's firm. Okay. Number 2, I have 4 legs. So there are different things that have 4 legs. Now we could be talking about a human. Well, a human doesn't have 4 legs, so it can't be a human. Animals have 4 legs, but animals aren't the only things that have 4 legs. You can also get furniture that has 4 legs. So, not quite sure what it's referring to here yet. So let's have a look at the next one. The next one says, I have a flat top. So we're talking about a surface that is not rough, that is flat and smooth, let's say. Number 4, people can put things on me. Okay, so now we can assume that the 4 legs is not referring to an animal. Although you could put things on a donkey, I suppose. But I don't know how flat a donkey's back would be. And it says I'm hard, and I would assume that an animal's back would be soft. And then it says people can sit at me. Now, if it said people can sit on me, like a horse or a donkey or something else, then you would know that you can sit on top of it. But this isn't saying on, this is saying at. So it's something that you sit at. So next to, not on top of it, but next to it. So I'm going to take a clue from the picture that's here. So if we look here, what are the things that are hard, have 4 legs, have a flat top, people have put things on it, and there are people that are sitting at it. So, the most obvious thing that I can see in the picture is a table. It is hard. It's not soft. Not like an animal's back. It has 4 legs. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 legs on this table. It has a flat top. So it has a flat surface. And people can put things on it. So we can see on here that this table has got a laptop and a computer. And also there are people sitting at it. So they're not sitting on top of the table, they're sitting on the chairs at the table. So if we take this away, oops, there we go. The answer's a table. Right, like I said before, I'm going to read these sentences again and I will pause so that you can repeat it after me, because as in the reading task we normally do, it is about the rhythm. It's not always just about pronouncing the words, because if you just pronounce the words and you don't have a rhythm to the words that you say, then you will either lose the meaning or you sound very robotic. So, number 1, I am hard. I am hard. So repeat it after me. I am hard. Number 2, I have 4 legs. I have 4 legs. I have 4 legs. I have a flat top. Number 3, I have a flat top. I have a flat top. Number 4, people put things on me. People put things on me. People put things on me. Number 5, people can sit at me. People can sit at me. People can sit at me. Okay, right, let's move on then to the next slide. Okay, we have some questions now, and we actually do have a piece of reading at the top to go with the question. So we didn't have a reading task as such on the first page, but we do have it here. So I will read this to you, and then we will look at what the answers are to these questions. So listen carefully. On the table is a computer. Next to the computer is a laptop. The computer and laptop are both silver. And the table is brown. Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. 4 friends come to chat. Okay, right, let's have another read of this. On the table is a computer. Next to the computer is a laptop. The computer and laptop are both silver. And the table is brown. Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. 4 friends come to chat. Okay, so let's have a look at the questions and see if we can answer them. So the first question says, what colour is the table? What colour is the table? Can you remember what colour the table was? So we can see here in the third sentence, the computer and laptop are both silver and the table is brown. So the table is brown. Okay. So as an answer, we would write the colour, so we'd have to put a the in front of colour. The colour of the table is brown. Okay, so the colour of the table is brown. Okay, then number 2. The question says, what colour are the computer and laptop? What colour are the computer and laptop? And I just want you to notice that in this question, it said the colour, what colour is the table? But in this question, it says what colour are the computer and laptop? Now that's because you use is with one item. We're only talking about the table here. But in this question, we're talking about 2 things. So we use the verb are. So what colour is the table and what colour are the computer and laptop? So it's more than one thing, so it's plural. Okay, so what colour are the computer and laptop? Now, I gave you the answer to this when we were trying to work out the table. And the computer and laptop are both silver. So the computer and laptop are both silver. Now to answer the question, you would write the computer and laptop are silver. So the answer to this question is slightly different because in this answer you would have written the table is brown, but for this answer you would write the computer and laptop are silver because there's more than one. Okay? If you're writing this down, I'll just give you a little bit of time to write it down. So the table is brown and the computer and laptop are silver. Okay, moving on to question 3. Where is the laptop? Where is the laptop? Right, let's go back to the text. And we know that the laptop is on the table. Obviously, it's on the table, but where exactly on the table is it? So we need a preposition, a different preposition. We could have on. On is a preposition. It's on the table. It's on top of the table. But in here, it also said next to the computer is a laptop. Okay, so it's not just on the table, it's also next to the computer. Okay, so we have 2 prepositions here. We have on, the laptop is on the table, but it is also next to the computer. So your answer to this question, where is the laptop? The answer would be the laptop. Take part of the question as your answer. The laptop is. We use is because we're talking about one laptop. We're not talking about the computer and the laptop, just the laptop by itself. So the laptop is, and the word is there in the question, so that gives you the clue of which verb to use. Where is the laptop? The laptop is on the table next to the computer. So it's not just on the table, it's also next to the computer. Right, now we have question 4. who is sitting at the table? Right. If we just have a quick look back at these questions, we have what starting off the question. So it's asking you to describe something. The next question here says where. So it's asking you for the position of something. Where is asking where is it? What position is it in? And now we've got a who. So it's usually talking about a human. A human or, no, actually it's usually a human. Okay? So who is sitting at the table? So here we need the names of people, or we need to have a description of the type of person. So is it a boy? Is it a girl? Is it a child? Is it an adult? Or we need names. So the who gives us the clue that we need to add names in this sentence, in your answer. So who is sitting at the table? And if we look back at the text, we find that Ivor and Sam sit at the table. Okay? Right. So who is sitting at the table? You need to start your answer with part of the sentence, part of the question. So we can actually use is sitting at the table at the end of our answer. So we just take the names Ivor and Sam. And Ivor and Sam, because it's two people, even though it says an is here, we need to change this to are because it's more than one person. So Ivor and Sam are sitting at the table. Okay, so or you could just write Ivor and Sam sit at the table. If you're using the sitting, then we need to use are. But if you use sit, then you don't need to use an auxiliary verb. So Ivor and Sam sit at the table, or Ivor and Sam are sitting at the table. Okay, because you have an ing on the end of your verb, you need an auxiliary verb, your are with it. All right. If it was just Ivor, then it would be Ivor is sitting at the table or Sam is sitting at the table. But there's both of them, so it's Ivor and Sam are sitting at the table. Okay, moving on. Where do you think this table is? So where is this table? Okay, so there actually is no information about where the table is in the text. So if we just quickly have a quick read through, it actually does not tell us any information about where the table is. So on the table is a computer. Next to the computer is a laptop. The computer and laptop are both silver. The table is brown. Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. 4 friends come to chat. Okay, now we can assume that this table is not in a house. All right, because there is a computer and a laptop, but there are 4 friends who come to chat. Now that is a lot of people who are just coming to chat to another couple of people sitting at a table with a computer and laptop on. Now that isn't normal for inside your house. So we can assume here that they must be in an office or they are at work, because it says here, Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. So they're using the table to work at. So this is a working environment, and their friends are coming to chat to them, and we can assume it's more reasonable to have friends coming to talk to you at a table where you're working. So even though it doesn't tell us where the table is, we can infer, which means we can work out from the text where the table must be. So I can assume that this table is at their work or in their office. So where do you think this table is? You would write, I think, because this is your opinion. It's not actually given in the text, and it's asking you, what do you think? I think this table is in an office. Now that information is not in the text, it's something you have to infer. You have to work out from the clues that are given in the text. So if, whoops, didn't want to do that. Let me go back to this screen. So if I move this box out the way, you can see that this looks more like an office environment because we have a lot of people standing around a table with a computer and a laptop on. So they're probably working, okay? Or their friends have just break time, they've come to have a chat. So where do you think the table is? I think the table, or I think this table is in an office. So you take this part of the question, just put I at the front of it. I think this table is in an office. Okay then. Right. Let's put this back. I am just going to have a quick break because my throat is getting very dry and I just need to get a quick drink. So I will be right back. So if you just hold on 1 minute and then we will carry on with the rest of the lesson. Okay then, we can move on from here. So let's see what the next screen is. Right, so parts of a sentence. We're using the text that we have just looked at, and we are going to now identify 2 prepositions from the text. Now, a preposition is a word that tells you the position of something. That's the easiest way to understand what a preposition is. So we're either looking for words that tell us words like behind, in front of, under, above, on, in, next to. All of those words are prepositions. It tells us the position of something. So in this text, we need to work out which, well, we only need to find 2. So 2 words that are prepositions. Now, if we look at the beginning of the first sentence, we can find a preposition right at the start. On the table is a computer. So the preposition on is at the beginning of that sentence. Now we need another preposition. Now a preposition doesn't have to just be one word. It can be more than one word. And we can find the next preposition at the beginning of the second sentence. And that is next to. So next to is our second preposition. So next to the computer is a laptop. Okay, are there any more prepositions on there? There actually is another preposition there, and that is at. So Ivor and Sam sit at the table. So the sitting next to the table, sitting at, is also a preposition. Okay, moving on to question 2. It says find 2 adjectives. Now we looked at adjectives in the previous lesson, and adjectives are describing words. and we need to find 2 describing words. Now, the easiest way to find describing words or adjectives is to identify the nouns in our sentences. So nouns, common nouns, are things. Okay, so we're looking for a couple of things that are being described. Now, the things in this description are table, there's some people, these are all nouns, there's a computer, there's a laptop, and we have some friends. Okay, so those are the things in our description. So now we need to find adjectives that describe these things. So let's have a look in the first sentence. It says, on the table is a computer. So we have 2 nouns there. We've got the table and we have a computer. But there are no adjectives with them. Okay, so there are no adjectives there. So let's have a look at the next one. And then we have the computer and a laptop in the second sentence. No adjectives there either. Let's have a look at the next sentence. We have the computer and laptop. And this time it says, and then it says, are both silver. So the computer and laptop are both silver. Now, silver is describing the laptop and the computer. So that is a descriptive word, which means that is an adjective. Then we have the table is brown. So brown is describing the table, which means brown has to be an adjective. So our 2 adjectives that we can use are silver and brown. So in this case, both of them are colours today. Right, moving on. We have number 3, fill in the missing words. Now, the words that are missing from the text are at the bottom, I think. 2. Oh, there's an extra word missing. Actually, I've just noticed there are 4 gaps and there are only 3 words. Let me just put the other word in. Just noticed what it is. Whoops. There's an and missing from there. Okay. So, number 3, fill in the missing words. We have something the table is a computer. Well, that's easy enough because we can just look at the sentence at the top. And the first sentence says, on the table is a computer. So the missing word from this first gap is on. So I will just move this over here. Okay, and then we have Ivor something Sam sit. So we know, if we go back to here, Ivor and Sam sit. So the word that's missing from here is, whoops, what's going on? And. So I'm going to move the and to here. So it's Ivor and Sam. Then we have sit something the table to work. Okay. We need a preposition. And the only one that will fit there is at, because we can't have Sam sit to the table to work. 4 friends come at chat. that wouldn't make sense by putting at here and to there. So at must go, sit at the table, which means to has to go here, come to chat. So on the table is a computer. Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. 4 friends come to chat. Okay, right, moving along. Our synonyms and meanings. So we've got some words from the text, and we're going to look at synonyms for these words which have a similar meaning. So other words that have similar meanings to the words we've already used, which you could use in place of. So let's have a look. Next to, work, sit, friends, and chat. So we have, those are the words from the text, and to match them up to, we have talk, colleagues, beside, perch, and job. So let's see which of these words match up to which of these words. Next to, another word that means next to, that you could use instead of next to. Can't be talk, can't be colleagues, can't be perch or job, so it has to be beside. So if something is next to something, it is also beside it. Let's have a look at the next one. The next one is work. Work. Now, work, you could talk while you're doing your work, but that does not mean work. Colleagues. Colleagues are people, so that can't be work. Beside, we've already used beside. Perch is another word for sitting, so it's not perch. And job, well, work and job. You can get a job, or you can go to work, or you can go to your job, so work and job are synonyms of each other. Okay, let's have a look at the next word, sit. I've already told you the answer to this by telling you the answer to that one. Okay, let's go through them anyway. Sit is not the same as talk. Colleagues are people, so it can't be that one. Besides, we've done. And job we've done. So perch. We normally refer to birds perching. So birds, when they sit on a branch, we say they're perching. So perch and sit are the same type of thing. Okay, it's a type of sitting. Right, friends. That's an obvious one. The only one there that refers to people are colleagues. You can have friends at work, you can have colleagues at work. So people you work with are either friends or colleagues. And then the last word is chat. Now, there's only one left, talk. So chat is a synonym of talk. Okay, so those two also go together. Right. Let's see, the next thing we have to do is pronunciation. Okay, I'm going to read out the words the way they're supposed to be pronounced, and then you're going to pronounce them after me. Okay, so I will pause and then I'll let you have a chance to say the words after me. So the first couple of words are next to, next to. You don't, because there's two T's next to each other, next to each other, you don't have to say the T on the next, because you're going to say T for the two. Okay, so you kind of have to blend it together and go next to, next to. All right, so you just have to say one T, not both of them. You could say next to, but it's a little bit harder. So it's just as easy and it's just as understandable if you just say next to. All right, so next to. The next word. So just say next to, next to, next to. Okay, then the next word is work. Work. I went to work. You have to say the k at the end. So it's, even though it's a or sound in the middle, we don't say or. We don't say walk, otherwise it would be walk. We say work. So it should really have an E there to pronounce it properly, but we're not pronouncing the or as it is written. We pronounce it work. So it's work, even though it's spelt that way. All right, so next to and work. Then we have sit. Now this is a CVC word, which we looked at yesterday. We have a s and a I and t. That we should blend them together and get sit. 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 Right, here's another word that is not pronounced the way it is spelt. Now, if I pronounced it the way it's spelled, I would actually be saying friends. But we don't say friends, we say friends. So this I is actually silent. It's fr, so it's ends. And we don't say s at the end of friends. The s is actually a z sound. It's a z sound, okay? So ignore the I and change the s to a z and you get ends. So it's ends. Friends. Friends. Okay. The next word, chat. This is not a k and a h, it's a ch sound. The k and the h here make a ch sound. So it's a ch, a, t. Chat. Okay, so we blend the k and the h to make a ch sound and then add the at. So ch, at, chat. So if we go back over them again, next to, work, sit, friends, chat. Okay, now you need to remember these because it's now the spellings. So I'll just hide this. Okay, are you ready? So you'll need a pen and paper so that you can write these words down, and then I will show you the answers once we've finished. Let me just change that to that. Okay, so the first two words are next to. The next word is work. Work. So the next word is work. And then the third word, which is easy, is sit. Sit. Then we have friends. Friends. Remember what I said about the silent letters? The next word is chat. Chat. Okay, once you've done that, I will show you what the words look like. There we go. That's what you should have written down. Next to work, sit, friends, and chat. Okay, hide that screen again. Just hide this screen. Whoops. Because now we have the final part, which is the dictation. So I'm going to read out the sentence that's here, and then you need to write it down. So we have, once you're ready, Ivor and Sam. Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. Sit at the table to work. So the whole sentence together is Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. So after Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work, the next sentence is four friends come to chat. Four friends come to chat. So that's the next sentence. Four friends come to chat. Okay, so all of it together. Ivor and Sam sit at the table to work. Four friends come to chat. Okay? Right, I shall show you what that looks like. So you can check. There we go. That's what you should have written down. Okay, that is the end of the lesson. I hope that was useful to you. And again, it looks like it doesn't show me any visitors on my chat, but I didn't have any visitors showing yesterday, but I know people were watching. So I'm going to assume I've got a similar problem again today. So hopefully those of you that are having internet issues managed to sort them out. But I will be having another lesson tomorrow. So I hope to see you tomorrow. So bye for now. Bye.